light 'em up in the ring. Light 'em up, shoot, shine, do your thing. Light 'em up in the ring. Light 'em up, shoot, shine, do your thing. Light 'em up, go dumb, go stupid. Yeah, we undefeated. Sucker free, we got the seats heated. Let's face it, you about to get a beat down. Less talking, let's take it to the streets now. Ain't gonna be no rematch, why you wanna fight? Touchdown on sight, yeah. Turn off the light, oh, turn off the light, let's get it poppin'. Go dumb. When you see me moving, bodies dropping. Move some. I'm about to go sick, call Earl. I'm turning up like E40, not your average girl. I'm turning up. We can rock like Rocky, make you tap it. Ghost ride the whip, look at my drip. This ain't a copy. We got a night if you wanna throw hands. When they see me fight, they wanna throw bands. Go dumb, go stupid, yeah, we undefeated. Sucker free, we got the seats heated. Light 'em up in the ring. Light 'em up, shoot, shine, do your thing. Light 'em up in the ring. Light 'em up, shoot, shine, do your thing. Light 'em up.
It's time for the main event. It's the Shoe Shine.
¿Qué onda, vatos locos? Damas y caballeros, it's your boy Dave in the 702 coming back at you for that boxing Monday night recap known as the Shoe Shine. All right, you guys know the drill. It's Monday Night Football. We usually start at 8 p.m. But man, was that an exciting Monday Night Football game. Shout out to all my Chargers fans. Shout out to Sonteo Media. I don't know if he disappeared. He was waiting. An exciting overtime game. And of course, my co-host, Philly Irish Drew Evil, will be here shortly. He said he's updating. The laptop started updating again. We gotta get Drew a Mac. We gotta get Drew a Macintosh, man. None of these funny updates every time you fire up that bad boy. But this is how I spent my weekend, guys. I mean, Sunday at least, Sunday afternoon. Shout out to Fonzie and Primo Alex who came to Vegas this weekend. Shout out to Man Cave in the chat. If you were wondering, the Devin Haney glove is now off the table. Fonzie has officially won the Devin Haney glove. So if you are listening, there is an opportunity to win another prize. What's good, Matt S87? Appreciate you, Fonzie, in the building. Glad he made it back to San Diego safely. The Chargers won the game. Oh, damn. Five interceptions for Jalen Hurts. Unreal. I couldn't believe it. Then you got Herbert playing with that broken hand. God help him. I don't know how he did that, playing with a broken hand. Nice little overtime game, the battle of the 8 and 4 teams. Of course, they don't play in the same division. If you're new to the channel and you watch it, consider subscribing, guys. It's absolutely free. I'm trying to get to our goal of 2,500 subscribers for Christmas. Speaking of Christmas, like I said, I got to hang out with some cool people yesterday at the Silverton Casino. The South Point Casino where I live in Las Vegas. If you're a fan of Vegas, guys, it's NFR, the National Finals Rodeo, and the casino down the street from me is insane. We couldn't even get up in there yesterday. There's police everywhere. There's not a spot anywhere to park, so we kicked it at Silverton yesterday. We had a good time. They got they got a lot of cool bars at Silverton. It's also a great place. A lot of Cowboys were there as well. They have these pop-up bars that are pretty cool. The Bad Elf. I like this one. We hung out there for a minute, but we were hanging out at the main lounge too. I gotta be honest with you guys. I had a really good time watching the Chiefs lose yesterday. Man, that team is completely falling apart. And no, I don't feel sorry for the Chiefs fans. Obviously, you guys know I'm a 49ers fan. And I think we'd have 2 more Lombardi trophies if it wasn't for Patrick Mahomes. I will never feel sorry. Never feel sorry for him. But I had a really good burger, man. This is a trip. This is not what I anticipated. This is supposed to be a jalapeno burger. That's the funkiest looking jalapeno, but that jalapeno was actually, it tasted pretty damn bomb. Then I had like these fried onions on top, and you could see like some applewood bacon. The cheese had 2 cheeses. It was kind of a weird jalapeno burger. I thought I was gonna get a Mexican inspired burger, but I'm gonna keep it real with you guys. That burger was fucking lit. That burger tasted incredible. That burger was damn tasty. So shout out to everybody that joined us. Also, I want to give a shout out to Miss Tunes that was out there in the building too. Got the chance to meet her. She's pretty cool. If you're on YouTube, she's a live streamer. She's pretty cool. So while I wait for Drew, that was delicious, fun. You got to get one next time you're out here, man. while I wait for Drew, I suppose he's going to show up. My TV went off behind me. That's the trip. Let me see real quick. While we await Drew, no hard feelings, 8-4. It was a tough game. Obviously, they need to evaluate what's going on with Jalen Hurts' accuracy because he threw how many picks today. But I thought I would do this against all wishes in this household. Spiced whiskey. This is a brand new offering. I picked this up today. This is a half-size bottle from Trader Joe's. If you have a Trader Joe's near you, this is a seasonal thing. I got my nice whiskey glass here with the block ice. Now, I might do a short after this. Oh, you want to see your best friend, Drew? Drew, call in. We're waiting, man. It is what it is, guys. Luckily, I didn't have any drama with my football team this weekend. The 49ers move up to the 6th seed. I'm very happy about that. A really good game between Green Bay and the Chicago Bears. And because of that game, the 49ers move up to the 6th playoff seed in the NFC. The NFC West is just incredible, right? It's an incredible division. 10-3, the Rams were throwing up 40 points. We beat them once. They beat us once. Again, also the Seahawks played incredible, threw up a ton of points, and they're dangerous teams. You know, whether we play them again, either of them in the playoffs, it's going to be difficult. Either of those teams. It's going to be difficult for anybody to face these NFC West teams. And here I got the schedule. I'm not going to underestimate the Titans, guys. The Titans this past weekend, for a team that only had, 1 or 2 wins, beating Shedeur Sanders, and Shedeur Sanders balled out, played incredible football game, 300-plus passing yards. The Cleveland Browns, even though he lost the game, have announced Shedeur is the man for the rest of the season for the Cleveland Browns. The Colts lose Daniel Jones to a horrific knee injury. Reports are they're going to be bringing in, I think, a former Chargers, Rivers, I believe, is coming in to audition for the role to take over the Colts. They still have an opportunity for the playoffs. So that being said, not having Daniel Jones, I think the 49ers, don't underestimate these teams, but one of these teams just beat the Browns. The Colts still have a good defense, and of course the Bears and the Seahawks it's up for grabs. That being said, if you're playing along weekly, shout out Big Spooky, if you're playing along in our football picks that we do on Thursdays, this week's going to be a little complicated, but I wanted to give a big shout out to Crypto Hippie NFT because he is this week's winner. I believe he had a total of 8 wins, even though he did not pick this one right. I don't think anybody, I'm not sure. Put it in, is my producer around to text me? Let me know if anybody picked the Chargers today, but other than Fonzie, who picked the Chargers, obviously. But yeah, shout out to Crypto Hippie NFT, who is this week's winner in the chat with the most amount of picks correctly. So shout out to him. I don't see him here today. But speaking of Shedeur Sanders, guys, while I wait for Drew, this is very controversial. I'm going to take a sip of this spice whiskey. Very controversial. A lot of controversy this week. Started back on Thursday night. Some people on Twitter are saying that the Dallas Cowboys game was the worst officiated game in recent history. The Raiders are involved in a scandal involving Barstool Sports. They think that they blew the game at the end with a field goal simply to avoid the spread, and thousands and thousands of hardworking Americans lost a ton of money on the game yesterday because of the Raiders' decision. I'll get to that story in a minute. I got a clip from that creep from Barstool Sports. But the controversy here, guys, you see he was sacked here in that small picture. People are wondering, is Shedeur actually wearing a thong in his game? I mean, he had an incredible game, but is that really a thong that he's wearing? Does anybody have any idea what that is? Is that a jockstrap that I just haven't seen it, but people think he's wearing a thong. Anyways, Shedeur had an incredible game. I'm not going to, let's give him his flowers. He had first quarterback for the Browns that have a 300-plus passing yards, 3 touchdowns, 1 rush TD in a single game. And he is now officially the starter for the rest of the season. He gets that nice accolade, named starter for the rest of the season. So we'll continue to see how he develops. People are saying, oh, this is why he should have been, the first pick. Fonzie says the Raiders should just lose all the upcoming games so they can get the first draft pick. And I wholeheartedly agree, because apparently there's a Chicano that I haven't even watched who's playing for what? Is it Indiana? Well, Ohio State? I don't freaking know. But every Raiders fan that I've interacted with is basically saying the same thing Fonzie is saying. Just throw the game. Just throw all the rest of the games they may have. 702 Man Cave says the NFL is rigged. If it is rigged, why do we continue to watch it every week? But man, there's a strong argument, because that spread issue on that Raiders game was very, very interesting. And there's been a lot of interesting things, even going back to the Cowboys, where it looked like one of the wide receivers threw the game as well. And that was just like 2 or 3 games ago. But yeah, every season, every year, we get more and more affirmation that the NFL appears rigged, whether it's by the referees or other things. But, speaking of, this is not real. This is the beauty of AI. Pete Carroll, everybody's accusing him of throwing that game, using that field goal so they would not cover the spread. And Pete Carroll reportedly, this is him at Circa or something, laying money on his own team or against his own team. All right, the Spice Whiskey. They make a good old-fashioned, guys. I've had some pretty good Spice Whiskeys before. I think this is a solid 8. It's not a 9 or a 10. I do taste the orange bitters is nice. A little bit of cinnamon. It's just okay. We'll see. I don't see Drew here. I don't even know if Drew's going to show. Drew, where are you? Hopefully he shows up. But yeah, Pete Carroll, reportedly, this is fake AI, throwing that game. And you were talking about that first round pick. What's this guy's name? Mendoza, right? I got a picture of the guy. Let me see here. And in fact, speaking of Pete Carroll and the Raiders, Poly Market is the new hot thing in gambling. It's called the prediction market. And in the Poly Market app, he is the most likely to be favored to be fired at the end of the season, even though he has a multi-year contract. People think the Raiders will get rid of him. Raiders fans, at least, or sports fans, think they'll get rid of him. So, Raiders drafting. Fonzie brings up a great point. This is the guy everybody's raving about. I didn't see him play this weekend. They think he'll be the Heisman Trophy winner. Mexican-American. Can somebody vouch? I don't know. Is he a Chicano kid? That would be rather remarkable. Drafting a quarterback is probably the hardest thing anybody can do. 702 Man says Max Crosby's not going to throw the game. I respect him, man. I really like Max Crosby. He can join the 49ers anytime. But they need him. If they're going to build a team around this young kid and draft him as a quarterback, Lord knows they're probably not going to start him off. They can't get rid of Geno Smith so quickly. They need to develop this young guy, even if they draft him. But, the Raiders have a large Chicano audience, and they always have had a large demographic of their audience and their fan base is Chicano. So if this kid is Chicano, he ends up being a generational type talent, maybe he's going to be a good fit. I'm going to start watching this kid. Fonzie says that Carroll needs to be fired. He sucks, and he screwed up the Raiders. Well, what about Tom Brady, man? He's had a role in it too, and Chucky doesn't seem to give a shit. But I agree with you. At this point in the season, you might as well be the worst team in the NFL and see if you can get yourself a franchise quarterback. Will it be Fernando Mendoza? I don't know. Leave me a comment if you guys have watched him play, if you've seen his highlight reels. I don't watch a lot of college football at all. So I'll be interested if that's the move they make, man. Just drop all the games. Phillip Rivers, I believe he was a Chargers quarterback. He's auditioning for the role of the replacement for the Colts quarterback role. Their quarterback, Daniel Jones, went down with a pretty serious ACL tear or whatnot this weekend. So the 49ers may see him in just a couple of weeks. The 49ers games this weekend, we're going to be playing the god-awful Tennessee Titans. So we may very well see this guy coming up. This was an interesting study, and I think Drew needs to be here for this one. But a recent study, a recent poll, overwhelmingly, football fans have decided that the Eagles are the worst rudest fan base in all of football. And I think that's pretty, that's a pretty serious claim, because a lot of people will tell you that the Raiders have always had that title as being the worst fan base, or the most dangerous, or the most, active. But no, this is about rudeness. They say the Eagles. Shout out to Marilyn Rentas. Is that right? She says they are trash. Well, the fan base I guess they've been voted as the rudest fan base. I'll tell you this. I have seen a lot of those stadium fights, and the Eagles fans, they're with the business. They are with the business. They're down for theirs. Once upon a time, the 49ers and the Raiders, when they were in the Bay Area together, they had a very, very bitter rivalry, and it was treacherous going to a Candlestick game or going to the Coliseum. Those fans used to hate each other. The fan base between the Niners and Raiders was so vicious that at one point the NFL decided, you know what? We're not going to allow you guys to have preseason games or interleague games. And that was at least a 10-year ban. Only now recently can I go and watch my team, the 49ers, right here in Las Vegas at the Raiders Stadium. And things are a lot better. Cry, Eagles, cry. Ooh, ouch. Tonight, do we have a lot of Chargers fans? Well, tonight was a rough night for Eagles fans, specifically for Jalen Hurts, who I've never seen throw that many interceptions. And not too long ago, just a couple of weeks ago, Brock Purdy came back from his turf toe for the second time this year, and it wasn't an easy going for Brock Purdy either. He threw 3 picks, but somehow 49ers miraculously did win that game, and the Eagles came close. They could have at least pulled a draw. Please tell me you're a Philly fan. No, my co-host is a Philadelphia fan, though, and it's been great, man. We've been going back and forth. Philadelphia, 49ers, bitter rivals for the past 5, going back to 2017, NFC Championship games. It's always fun here. Shout out to everybody new joining us. That's right, Pitbull beat Roach. I did put that here. We are going to talk about that because the Shoe Shine is primarily a boxing channel. I don't know if my co-host is going to show up. Where are you, Drew? But before we get to that big fight, and I'm curious how everybody feels about that, because I thought I was going to see a draw tonight on Monday Night Football, and we got, for the second time in Lamont Roach's career, back-to-back draws. This really sucks. Now, Lamont Roach is not promoted by PBC, the people that put on this, the show, so he kind of got stubbed here. Hold on a second, guys. What's good, Drew?
Nothing much.
Oh, man. Rough game. What's your analysis of what happened tonight? We got multiple turnovers, both directions. The Eagles defense showed up. The Eagles defense looked, they sacked him countless times.
I'm going to sum this up for everybody in the best way possible and everything. That game is solely on Jalen Hurts and A.J. Brown. That one catch gives you the game. Jalen Hurts was god-awful. I don't understand why you fucking pass in tight windows like that on the fucking, when you're in the red zone and a lot of time left to make a play. I think his throws were off. I think his decision making was horrible tonight, and I really think this loss is solely on him and AJ Brown.
Wow,
the defense showed up. You have 7 sacks on defense, you win the game most of the time. There's no way that you're not winning a game. That should have been an Eagles victory right there, but because of your horrible play and decision-making by your quarterback and your best receiver dropping 2 crucial passes, you lose that game.
All right, we got a bunch of new people. This is an interesting comment. Caden, I'm trying to read it as best. Caden Janek says that the Cowboys, and I'm pretty sure that in the chat, 702 Man Cave probably feels the same way. Can the Cowboys steal back the division? Statistically, are the Cowboys out of it now with the Eagles' loss today? Are the Cowboys still in it?
They're technically still in it, but I got The one pick wasn't on Jalen Hurts. That was on AJ. But Jalen Hurts had a horrible game. And now, yeah, the play calling was bad too in a lot of parts of that game.
Yeah, I saw that.
But Jalen Hurts did not perform well at all. And he has to be called out on it. You cannot go that you need to be better. And they knew you were going to throw the Dotson. You had an open guy right there. He needs to read all his progressions and everything. Oh, I don't understand why you don't run the ball in that area right there. Like, I don't understand why they fucking gave the ball to the Chargers for us. I really thought that this should have been won. That Eagles defense showed up.
Oh, they played spectacular. The defense definitely played well.
Like,
Joseph says, sorry, Drew, go ahead.
Like the offense is costing us these games. And it's now this is how it's gonna be for the rest of the year. These offense, then something's gotta change. You're gonna have to figure out what's going on. And like at the end of the day, do you have this dude come back as your offensive play caller next year?
Or you want him out too? You're ready to throw a toilet paper at his house?
I think you need a much better, more experienced offensive coordinator. Because it's clearly that he don't understand. Like, he was creative a little bit in this game, but this got to be consistent. There's got to be a path that you go play action, but you're not running the ball out those times. You're doing play action most of those times. You did it a couple of times. They don't want to. You got to be consistent on your offense.
Oh, shoot. Man. Drew, Tanner McKee, is that the guy from Stanford? If I remember correctly?
Yeah. And tell you the truth, man, it's not going to be much better.
Well, let's take a look. Let's quickly look at your schedule. You're coming back. Are you going to play the Raiders here December 14th? Are you playing them here in Las Vegas or at home?
We're going at home to play the Raiders. I think that we have to beat the Raiders.
You're gonna beat them. You're gonna beat the Commanders, although they're scrappy. They couldn't put up any points this past weekend against the god awful Vikings.
I think we're gonna. I don't know. Like, a lot of us have really lost faith in this offense.
And then you got the Bills. That's gonna be a battle of titans right there. That's not an easy game right before New Year's Eve. Eagles, Bills, and then you finish the season playing the Commanders. Now, of those 4 games, how many do you pick up? What's the record?
I don't even see our schedule.
What's good, Magic Mike? Good to see you, Miguelito. Of those 4 games, you're playing the Commanders twice. You're playing the Raiders. Of course, you're going to beat the Raiders. People were calling for the Raiders to lose the last 4 games so they can pick up the top quarterback in the draft.
I think we. Oh man. I think we can. I hope we can go 3-2 in the last 2 games, in the last 5 games.
Oh, there's one more game.
And everything. The five game, like 3 wins gets you the division.
All right, now looking at the Cowboys. The Cowboys play the Vikings. That could be competitive. The Vikings are coming off a hot win. The Cowboys play the Chargers. Very difficult. And the Cowboys play the Commanders. They can probably win, and they can probably win against the Giants January 4th.
Mike,
I don't think they get I don't see how the Cowboys can get that 7th seed in the wild card race. I don't see it. Maybe they win all 4 games.
I'm not confident in the offense anymore. Even though the Chargers are the number 3 rank defense and everything, I just don't have confidence in this offense anymore.
Okay,
like, you finally got Saquon off and again.
Oh, he had a pretty good run.
And then you just, your quarterback doesn't show then your quarterback fucking wets the bed. But,
Drew, I'm drinking whiskey today. Miguelito in the chat, man. He drink a lot of whiskey. This is a spice whiskey from Holiday Season 01 from Trader Joe's. I'm going to have some whiskey tonight. F that, man. Shout out to everybody new in the chat. Appreciate you. Captain Farron says nothing but a Green Bay Packers fan here. That was quite a good game this weekend. That was one of the most entertaining games. What'd you think about that game? Bears versus Packers.
Rivalry game, but like I look at the Packers. Packers are still like iffy in my eyes. I just don't trust the Packers still. I don't trust the Bears either, but do I trust the Bears more than the Packers? Yeah, I trust the Bears more than the Packers.
Yeah. Hey, I wanted to ask you, this isn't going to play? What happened here? Barstool Sports, Drew. You hear about that guy? Portnoy? He went crazy.
I'm going to say something about, I'm sorry, but they need to get rid of Pete Carroll. They need to fire him. Like, there's some stuff going around about Chip Kelly's firing. That people are saying that they would not let Chip Kelly call his offense.
Damn.
He had to call Pete Carroll's offense from 2003 Seattle. He had to call that offensive playbook. And that is one of the most predictable playbooks out there. Because it does not adjust to the new setting of football right now. And, they said Chip Kelly knew about this from the get-go. He would never took the job. Pete Carroll cannot adjust to the times today, to the present time. You need to fire Pete Carroll for this team's own good. And you need to put an offensive-minded coach in there. And just and bring Rex Ryan in as a defensive coordinator or something. Like, something to blitz a fire on these guys' asses or something.
Drew, Pete Carroll, you know that poly market thing I was telling you about where everybody predictions market? He is the top favorite to get fired at the end of the season. Favorite to be fired, even though he has a multi-year deal. Also, reportedly, people think he's betting against his own team, man. I mean, I'm seeing some amazing AI memes of him at the casino this weekend. This guy, I was going to play the clip of Dave Portnoy from Barstool Sports. He went nuts after that Raiders game, and I'm on my Twitter account trying to pull up the audio clip. Dude, he pulled it, or he had everybody pull his reaction where people went nuts against this guy, Dave Portnoy. So I can't play the clip now. It's gone. It is what it is, man. What do you think about the Raiders losing every game so they can get this Mexican-American quarterback that everybody's raving about?
I tell you the truth right now, Dave. The only way I would take him if you start. Here's the thing: rebuilding a team from scratch. The first thing you do is build from the trenches. Your offensive line, your defensive line. You build those two entities up. Then you go with a quarterback. So he'll have the protection of the offensive line you drafted or you sign, Then you go with some weapons the next year for him. But you also go for defensive players like your linebackers and everything to build off that. Sign maybe a corner or something or a safety and do that. But it's like if you look at it, the Raiders have failed so much in building a product. I just don't think that they're going to be good for a long time. Like, Cleveland's a lot closer than the Raiders, in my opinion. I'm going to tell you why. Cleveland's got a good pass defense. But if you saw maybe a one-stopper a little bit, you improve that defense a little more. All you got to do in Cleveland, improve the offensive line. You improve the offensive line, you should have a good contender right there. That's the only thing that Cleveland really needs is an offensive line. And if you do it like I look at it, like Shedeur Sanders is starting the rest of the year.
Yeah, he did. I put that up. You just missed it, Drew. There was a little bit of controversy. He played a fantastic game. We'll give him his flowers. But there's something really funny going on with his attire. It looked like he's wearing women's thongs, but I don't know. Maybe it's a new style cup holder or whatnot. But it looked like a thong. But Marilyn in the chat was just asking, are we a boxing channel? Yeah, primarily that's what we do. And we are going to get to this weekend's fight, the big PBC card. Speaking of fashion, Drew, speaking of Philadelphia, man.
Gotta be serious. Boxing is dead.
Look, I just got to point it out. There was some controversy regarding Danny Garcia. Now we're talking fashion here. Shedeur's being accused of wearing a women's thongs, but Danny Garcia, multiple world champion, future Hall of Famer, in my opinion, he's wearing what they say were women's bell bottoms. So, and I have no idea if that's why impacted the performance of Stephen Fulton this weekend, where he didn't perform at all. But Danny Garcia being accused of wearing women's bell bottoms. I'm not sure. We're going to get to those 4 fights. Drew, can I play this clip? I got to get your reaction because the Raiders are being accused by a lot of people of some funny shenanigans. Let's play this clip. Barstool Sports president.
All time. And you have to investigate the Raiders. Investigate the Raiders. What are they doing? What the fuck? That's the worst beat of all time.
What happened here? That's not playing the whole thing, but Drew, your thoughts, man? You think there's any funny rigging going on, or is this just?
I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah, I have no idea. He's losing his mind, the guy over from Barstool Sports, but he did have to take a retraction because I think he made some racial statements, and that wasn't good on him. For those of you watching now, Chiefs just lost. They only have a 6% chance to even make it to the playoffs. Yeah, they're done. No love lost for the Chiefs, Drew. We watched them play yesterday at the casino. Shout out to Fonzie again. We all hung out yesterday at the Silverton Casino and watched the game. What do you think is going on with the Chiefs, man?
I'm going to look at it like this. Let me plug in my laptop because it just gave me the thing saying battery's low. So I think the Chiefs need to address the offensive line. He has no time to throw the ball, but he's also has made really bad decisions with the ball and everything. And like Travis Kelce, I really expect Travis Kelce to retire.
Yeah.
And it looks like we got a Patrick Mahomes dick sucker in the chat.
Well, let's not be so rude to our audience.
That's currently was timed out. Thank the Fonzie, appreciate it.
Yeah, okay. I wasn't watching the chat.
He can go fucking. He can go be on a Diddy fucking video with Patrick Mahomes.
Oh, by the way, Drew, there's a new Diddy documentary on Netflix.
I watched that.
Oh my God, I only got through episode 2. It reminds me, Drew. I'm out here in Vegas. Suge Knight. He played for UNLV. I always forget that, man. That he actually played, and he made the LA. He made the Rams, not the LA Rams. At that time it was St. Louis Rams, but he played for the Rams, man. Pretty amazing. I forgot about all that. Anyhow, I'm sorry if you're Chiefs fans. You guys got 3 back-to-back, Super Bowls pretty much. Essentially, you beat the 49ers twice. They may have to rebuild around if they want to keep them there. You think there's any possibility he has to be, to go somewhere else at this point or stick around if he loses Kelce?
I look at it. They got to rebuild the offensive line, man.
Yeah.
They got to rebuild the offensive line. And like, I look at it, man, and I see like, what the hell? And I don't know. I just, it's just like, it's funny as hell to go look at shit and it's funny. It's just funny, man. Like with some shit.
If you guys are new to the channel, this is Shoe Shine Boxing. We primarily cover the sport of boxing on Mondays, but this is a funny week. Drew, I'm having surgery on Wednesday, and they told me that I'm having eye surgery. For anybody interested in that, I'm very young to be having it, but I'm having eye surgery. I won't be able to look at my computer or a handheld device for at least 3 days, which puts our football picks show off the table on Thursday. Drew, if you're available tomorrow night, maybe we do it tomorrow night, but usually we do it Thursday, guys. We are going to transition into some boxing talk because we had a really good fight this weekend. We had a stack card. Somebody that we've interviewed and kept along his career, Jesus Ramos Jr., won the WBC middleweight interim title. We've got multiple interviews with him on this channel. Drew Evo's fighter from Philadelphia, Stephen Fulton, fought on the card, came up short, also missed weight on the scale. And then we had a very boring fight with 42-year-old champion. By the way, there are two 42-year-old boxing champions right now. This is freaking wild. One of them is a cruiserweight. One of them is a middleweight. And honestly, I don't see why Terrence Bud Crawford doesn't do the unthinkable and just come down to 160 and fight Arislan Lara at this point, Drew. I could see him easily beating 42-year-old Lara and adding a 5th division world championship to his incredible career. I'm calling for Terrence. Come down to 160 and take care of this division. Honestly, that should be good. And the main event was Cruz versus Roach in a very controversial draw. Pitbull Cruz lost controversially. In my opinion, I think he actually won that fight against Gervonta Tank Davis. They didn't award it to him, but even more convincingly, Lamont Roach beat Tank Davis and did not get the nod. I mean, he beat him. There was a knockdown he didn't even call, and he gets for the second time he gets two draws in a row. He is not a PBC fighter. Drew and I were talking about this. He's managed by a good friend of our show, Roberto Diaz. He gets the shaft, man. You're not a house fighter. You don't get the decision in your favor. They want to run it back. What do you think about running it back? And what do you think about that controversial draw?
I thought Roach won at 8-4. He landed 40 more punches and he was getting counted all night, Isaac. Like, I thought it was a stupid decision. And I think, if I was Lamont, I'd get the fuck away from PBC and just fucking fight on different platform or something, man. But it's something I need everybody to start doing, man. And I want to call for a boycott of the WBC. Racial Sumov, go fuck yourself, you fat piece of shit.
All right, you heard it. You heard it. The WBC got a lot of shit from the well-educated YouTube content creators this week. The WBC, you probably, if you're not a boxing fan, but Terrence Crawford became undisputed by beating Canelo Alvarez right here in Las Vegas just months ago. And he dropped that title. They wanted $300,000 for him to keep that fancy belt. And he said, I don't fucking need it. He's basically said, I don't need that title. You can have it. Here's your stupid title. And I'm not paying you $300,000. Somebody with Terrence Crawford's stature, now that he's beaten Canelo Alvarez, it does not matter. And with the rise of the UFC's boxing network, the boxing thing that they're going to start in January, they're starting their own promotion company, their own league, essentially, and they're even having Congress potentially change rules for boxing, the Muhammad Ali Act. Fighters, less likely are going to want to pay these sanctioning bodies to hold these titles. These titles are starting to become meaningless. Shout out to One Wheel J, says Jake Paul isn't a boxer, he's an entertainer. And somebody like Jake Paul, who's made millions, who's made absolute killing it in terms of boxing entertainment, what Jake Paul has done monetarily, becoming one of the highest paid, so I guess you can call him a celebrity athlete. The amount of money that he's making, and he's going to make for this next Netflix fight coming up in just a couple of weeks, essentially, against Anthony Joshua, former gold medalist, former heavyweight champion of the world. The amount of money Jake Paul has made is freaking insane, and it does not matter to Jake Paul. Maybe it does personally, but at the end of the day, financially, it doesn't matter whether Jake Paul ever becomes a real world champion. The one that would likely have, one of these titles, WBC, WBO, IBF, it doesn't matter. There's 4 titles, by the way, guys. WBA, IBF, WBC, WBO. That means there's 4 paths to becoming a world champion in every weight division. He doesn't have any of them. The WBC flirted with the idea of ranking him in the top 15. He has the money. I think they gave him a YouTube belt or something. They made that, you know what I mean? This is why Drew is so... Yeah, December 18th. Thank you, Mike. It's going to be free. If you ask me, my professional opinion is that should not last the entire round with a true heavyweight gold medalist. He should not last. But there's multiple reports out there, rumors that behind the scenes contractually, there is a take it easy clause. Take it easy. I think his opponent, Anthony Joshua, is getting paid $50 million at the last minute to step in. He is a heavyweight champion. I don't care who Jake Paul, he's been sparring with some incredible names. There's no way you're going to learn what somebody who's already become a gold medalist in boxing. You're not going to learn the craft. He's done a remarkable job, as an entertainer. You guys say a boxing entertainer. He's done a remarkable job, but you're just not going to learn what you need to know to defeat, especially a man as big and as heavy. Fonzie says celebrity boxing was a cartoon. Now it's made with real people starring Jake Paul. And it's coming up in just 2 weeks. We do have a fight this weekend. Let me give a quick praise to a real fighter from Arizona. Good friend of the show here on the right-hand side. Ramos beat the son of a legend, and all credit to Sugar Shane Mosley Jr., the son of Shane Mosley, one of the best fighters of the past generation. Surefire Hall of Fame fighter, Sugar Shane Mosley. His son got in the ring, and this was the best fight of the weekend on the PBC card in San Antonio, Texas. They went at it for 12 rounds for what the WBC, who Drew just bashed, is they offered an interim title, kind of like the junior title, not the full champion, the interim title. But sometimes, this is how funny boxing is now, crooked, some of you might say. Sometimes they strip a champion, they take the belt away from you, or in Terrence Crawford's case, Terrence Crawford said, I don't give a shit about your belt, here's your belt back. Sometimes the interim champion, they get what's known as the email. And they get an email saying, hey, guess what? You didn't even have to fight for it. You're now the champion. So Ramos, shout out to him. He's been on my show numerous times from Casa Grande, or is it from Arizona. He is now the interim WBC world champion. We're extremely proud of him on our channel. Shout out to him, and shout out to Sugar Shane Mosley for a fantastic fight. As I mentioned, guys, there's a 42-year-old champion who fought on the card. Erislan de Lara also once upon a time fought, he fought Canelo Alvarez. I remember watching that fight. Drew, that fight was pathetic. But Erislan de Lara at 42, pathetic. I actually went to go do something else. I didn't see he knocked down his opponent in the 12th round, but
here's the issue, man. When you have an incident with the fighter is got caught juicing or is injured, they need to give a refund, some portion of a refund. If you're charging $85 for this fucking prophetic card, that's probably now you're going to do 25,000 sales. Seriously. It's a joke, and this is the main reason why boxing is dead. And if people want to say it's not dead, you're delusional as fuck. Seriously, this sport is dead in the U.S.
You know who's not dead? Shout out to Bob Arum, 94-year-old today. Happy birthday to Bob Arum of Top Rank. Incredible, Drew. 94 years old. 94 years old, and still, Oh, come on. Don't be cruel. Don't be cruel. Don't be cruel. It's amazing. It's amazing. And give praise to my wife's grandpa. Rest in peace. He worked until his 90s running his business. He had a tractor business, Drew, and he worked into his early 90s. And some of the people that I've met that have been so lucky to live a long life like that said that the reason why they're alive in their mid 90s is because they didn't stop working. It's not work if you love what you do. So happy birthday to Bob Arum of Top Rank, who's now 94 years old. Thank you guys if you're still with us, Drew. I want to ask you your thoughts on your Stephen Fulton. He blew through the weight class. It was supposed to be, you said you're not happy with the WBC. This was supposed to be the WBC championship fight 130, right? For Foster's belt.
I want Sumoff to answer this. So the dude came in overweight, had an hour to lose the weight, then he came in 2 pounds overweight. Instead of finding him and making this, if he wins the fight, the belt's vacated, you make this fight a interim 135-pound title fight. So what's the reason behind this? When there was 2 guys that were already ranked that deserved an opportunity, and you pushed them aside. So you broke your own rules. Oh, we have rules, but you break your own rules all the time. And it's okay for you to break your own rules, but everybody else breaks your rules. You want to fucking say something. And I want to say something real quick, man. People are defending the WBC. Shouts to Beeb, because I'm watching him to cook this dude, and he got emotional, the dude. And I'm not going to mention his name because a lot of shit that he says is idiotic and everything, and that's why I don't say his name. But I am going to say this. If you are defending what the WBC does in this situation and you are a fighter, go ahead and keep sucking his dick.
Sheesh. Hey, Drew, by the way, Stephen Fulton has 2 titles. They were holding him there. Their fans, the Philly, these great Philly fighters here. You got Boots Ennis holding one of the belts, I believe, is the 122 title. And then you got Danny Garcia holding the featherweight title Stephen Fulton had. He thought he was going to walk away with Roach's 130-pound title, but he didn't make weight. And then all of a sudden, the announcement is made that, we're going to make this fight for the 135-pound interim title, WBC. So they basically rewarded Fulton by missing weight, blowing his contractual obligations with an opportunity to win a interim title at 135. And I'm going to be real, Fulton is a great fighter. He was a great champion, and he could have potentially been a 3-division world champion on Saturday. He fought god-awful. This is not the Fulton I'm used to. And personally, my opinion is this division 130, which he was not even able to make weight, maybe he did not prepare properly. I don't think he wins a title in it, not against who he fought this weekend, against O'Shaquie Foster. He's never going to beat O'Shaquie Foster. Maybe he didn't take this training camp seriously, or he had some dietary issues, but I would like to see him go back to featherweight. And that's just my opinion. Also, before I let you say something, I just want to point out what Fonzie said. This is really interesting, and it's true, Fonzie. I agree with you. The belts get a certain percentage, sanctioning bodies, so they only want boxers who get paid top dollar, and that's why they protect certain fighters. And a great example of that is the fact that Canelo Alvarez was a favorite of the WBC, even with the clenbuterol, PED scandal. He's still a favorite of the WBC. Ryan Garcia, a favorite, caught with the Ostarine PED, a very mild suspension, reinstated, and given an opportunity to fight Mario Barrios, who was there. He's going to fight Mario Barrios. He hasn't won a fight in 2 years, maybe.
Like this, Dave.
And he's getting a title opportunity. It's pretty wild.
When Sumo gets asked questions like this, This is what he does. But this is case by case basis. I haven't seen somebody stutter so fucking much in fucking 5 seconds in my fucking life than what this dude does. Like, seriously, dude. This sport is dying, and you are a main reason why, because how corrupted you are. And then you want to cheat the fighters out of money. And then here's the thing. This one female fighter that wants to defend the WBC. My question to her is, has she cleared even $100,000 fight purse in her career yet? To talk about that and let the WBC take some money off of you. And here's the thing. If you don't want to pay the sanction fee, give the belt up. That's what he did. I know he was stripped from it, but what's wrong with not wanting to pay the sanctioning fee? And when the other ones he paid them, but the WBC thinks they're worth more to them. What makes them so fucking special?
Yeah. I hear you, Drew. Let me give a shout out to, if you guys are interested in more boxing content, our good friends, Boxing's Ringside Reporter live, Ringside Reporter with Joe Habib every Sunday at 3 p.m., which is one of the best here on YouTube covering the sport of boxing. Shout out to Ringside Reporter. In the main event, let's get to the main event. It's pretty late. Appreciate everybody that's here, Drew. A draw. Let's look at these CompuBox numbers. I'm going to agree with you, Drew. I love Pitbull Cruz. I didn't think he was going to win. And even with all the controversies, it was a dirty fight. It was not a pretty looking fight. It was very rough. It was mildly entertaining with all the showboating going back and forth. You have Pitbull Cruz sticking his tongue out at one point in a very bizarre move. A lot of dirtiness, a lot of clinching by Pitbull Cruz he was not warned. I did not think the referee was good. But anyway, you slice it or dice it. Let's look at these facts. Let's look at the CompuBox numbers. Even where I thought Pitbull Cruz looked good and aggressive, Mexican pressure style, Drew, you look at these numbers, 13 for 13 in round one, essentially a tie. In round two, I still thought Cruz won that round, 15-17 in favor of Roach. 18 was a very good round to 8 in Roach in round three. A dead even tie, 23-23 punches landed in round four. As you can see the pattern, it looked good. It looked like Cruz was pressuring him early, but as the fight progressed, I thought you definitely saw that Lamont Roach, who also was dropped in one of the earlier rounds, you have to give that point to, he made an adjustment and then he started to take over and became dominant, frustrating Pitbull Cruz. Only 7 punches landed for Pitbull Cruz in round 8, guys. Rounds in 11 and 12 which were very essential to whoever wanted it, the championship rounds. You see that Pitbull's 11-15. Is that Pitbull there? And then 16-15. Very close. But anyway, you slice it or dice it. Total punches landed 159 to Lamont Roach's 191. I'm just a numbers guy. There was 2 point deductions. Actually, there was a knockdown, and there was a point deducted against Pitbull Cruz. I still gave it 7-5 to Lamont Roach, and they walk away with the draw. Lamont Roach says he broke his hand, so an immediate rematch. It's not going to be immediate. They could set up a rematch. Do you want to see them fight, or like you said, you just believe he should part ways with fighting on PBC cards? Yes, that's right, Maryland. The knockdown was a 10-8 round, and then it was just a simple 1-point deduction against Pitbull Cruz. Very close fight. I mean, very close. Not that I'm upset about a draw, but I really thought that Lamont Roach pulled this one off.
Oh, man. You want to know what? You want to know something, Dave? This is the 4th pay-per-view card of the PBC in a row that had a main event finish a draw.
Yeah, it sucks. It sucks. A lot of people lost money on that Raiders game, and a lot of people lost money on their parlays this weekend in boxing. A draw, hardly anybody ever picks a draw when they're gambling. A lot of people lost money on that.
Yeah. And that's sad, man. You're paying this money for fights. I'm not, because I refuse to pay for this piece of shit. And if you pay for it, Just do us a favor. Just get on your knees real quick. Take it like a man. You know, if you want to pay for it. You know, do like God bless me. Both you gay and right, God bless me. God bless him too. Like, God bless me for having to see somebody in chat talk about Patrick Mahomes so much that he gets on his knees every time he fucking comes into a room, Patrick Mahomes, and say, please, I'll open my mouth to it. That's what this dude Chris is telling me right now. But I am gonna say something right now, man. God fucking bless me.
But without the F word, Drew. I mean, come on.
God bless Dave.
Thank you.
But
Thank
God,
you. He did. You know what?
God,
For anybody out there, guys, my spirituality has been enforced this year. I've been praying a lot, and God has answered a lot of my prayers this year. And I hope he answers your prayers too for the holidays, guys. I am a God-fearing man, and I hope he is out there listening to your prayers as well. Speaking of praying for people, Drew, there was another fight. One of my favorite cruiserweight, and y'all should watch him and go out and look for this highlight because it was the most devastating knockout I've seen, and it was so bad that his opponent. All right, first let's talk about Jai Opetaia, the Samoan from Australia, the cruiserweight champion, the baddest cruiserweight in the world, in my opinion. He fought this guy named Sin Cara. Sin Cara was hospitalized for a brain bleed and a fractured vertebrae after a devastating KO loss to Jai Opetaia. He defended his title. Some people say Jai Opetaia took more punishment than he needed early in the rounds. But if you've seen this knockout, guys, go out and look for it on Twitter or YouTube. He essentially fractured a vertebrae. He hit him so hard in the neck, jaw area, that he fractured the guy's vertebrae. On top of having a brain bleed, Drew, this guy, I mean, you guys know who follow the sport of boxing that a brain bleed is the most serious thing, and it can result to being a fatal blow. Surprisingly, after the fight, Drew, even though he was knocked out unconscious out of the ring, he was able to have this embrace with the Samoan warrior from Australia, and everything looked okay. But you know that sometimes brain bleeds, you do not notice what's happened until you've gotten out of the ring. We've even had deaths. We've had deaths in the sport of boxing in New York where people thought everything was okay and their brain bled to death, or they bled until they were paralyzed. Very scary stuff, guys. But I got to ask you, Drew, the conversation is now getting serious with David Benavidez. Marilyn says David Benavidez should be the face of boxing right now. And Marilyn, I will agree that at the moment, because David Benavidez is going to take over Cinco de Mayo right here where I live in Las Vegas, they have secured May 2nd. He will now be the face of Cinco de Mayo. The most important thing in boxing is to own the dates. Floyd Mayweather took over Cinco de Mayo for years, took over Mexican Independence Day. Now David Benavidez is, Drew, and he's moving up to cruiserweight to fight Zurdo Ramirez. The best matchup for David Benavidez moving up in weight to cruiserweight is going to be the Mexican cruiserweight champion, David Benavidez, who started his career at super middleweight. Like David Benavidez, Zurdo started off as a super middleweight champion. It is a great fight for Cinco de Mayo. However, there's another 42-year-old champion that I think David Benavidez is going to be victorious. I think it's going to be a very entertaining fight next year. This guy right here on the right, also a cruiserweight champion. David Benavidez, stick around and fight him too. Unify the cruiserweight division. Pick this title up too from the 42-year-old. I can see it happening, guys. The problem is when he gets to this Samoan warrior from Australia, Jai Opetaia. I don't know, with the possibility of David Benavidez coming back to light heavyweight, where he's now the WBC champion, he has a fantastic opportunity to fight the guy that beat Canelo Alvarez, right? He could fight Dimitri Bivol, who's going to be coming back to light heavyweight pretty soon. Now, David Benavidez can hang around for 2 fights potentially in 2026 at cruiserweight. He will earn my ultimate respect, and he has my respect now. But if he wants to have a real challenge, he will seek the fight with Jai Opetaia and have Turki Al-Sheikh, who, David Benavidez is now fighting a lot of his fights under the banner of Turki Al Sheikh Riyadh season cards. And Riyadh season has worked extensively with Jai Opetaia. Jai Opetaia is the kind of fighter that could kill you. And I don't say that lightheartedly. There are many people who have lost their lives in the sport of boxing. Sadly, it's amongst the most dangerous sports in the world. He could kill you. It is a very dangerous fight. But if David Benavidez is peak and he wants that fight, he knows that Jai Opetaia is the most dangerous fight for him in any division. Just shy of him, just shy of David Benavidez deciding I'm going to go all the way to heavyweight. I'm going to go all the way to heavyweight and ask Usyk for a fight. There is nothing more dangerous for him than to fight Jai Opetaia. Still quite a while away, as I mentioned it, guys. Let me see if I can pull up that knockout. I think Drew's coming back here. What's good, Drew? Yeah, my Twitter's tripping, guys, but you guys can go and look at that Jai Opetaia knockout. What's your thoughts on David Benavidez moving up to cruiserweight? Do you think he sticks around or he comes back to light heavyweight immediately after that fight?
Be a mistake if he goes back down to light heavyweight.
He should fill into that frame, right? Just like Zurdo Ramirez did. Just stay there, right? Take on.
If you're gonna move up, you gotta stay there. There's no way you move back down. Like, I just don't. I don't think he's gonna beat. Like, I don't think he'll beat Okataya. But him moving back down would be disaster for him. It would be the same thing as like for Antonio Tarver when he was at a heavyweight during the Rocky movie, and then lose all that weight, and wasn't the same fighter and everything. It's something that if you're gonna do the move up, you might as well stay in that division.
I agree. Guys, it's 10 o'clock. We usually start at 8 o'clock. I just wanted to point out there is, for all you hardcore boxing fans, there is some boxing this Saturday, and then you have that massive Netflix special coming up in just 2 weeks, Drew. Diego Pacheco, super middleweight, used to train with David Benavidez. I don't know if he still is with David Benavidez. Not sure entirely, but he's fighting a fighter named Sajo. This is a fighter that I see him getting past, and Diego Pacheco needs to start targeting the big names in the super middleweight division. Christian and Billy, by the way, now going to be fighting for one of those vacated titles. I think because what's his name is giving up the title, Terrence Crawford. That WBC title is available. Christian and Billy. Pacheco needs to start targeting the big names in that division. Does he get passed by Sajo?
Probably does.
That's the main event. The co-main is extremely interesting, Drew. As you guys know, those of you listening, that the city of Stockton has been undergoing some big hardships, guys. There was a tragedy there just a couple of weeks ago where there was the loss of life of children. There's a lot of dangerous street politics going on in the city of Stockton. Stockton's number one fighter, their hometown favorite, Gabe Flores, who used to fight on Top Rank, got an opportunity on Pro Box. He is the co-main attraction. He is the guy that sells tickets, Drew. I'm telling you, from what I hear, these fights are not possible. It's not Diego Pacheco, who is a South Central kid. He's from South Central LA. It is a very scary time for someone from Southern California to be headlining in a city in Northern California with everything going on. My prayers are with the city of Stockton that people act right and enjoy family entertainment, because it is really treacherous out there in the streets of Stockton at the moment. They couldn't put this card on, Drew, if it wasn't for the fact that Gabe Flores still sells, from what I'm told, 7,000 plus tickets alone. That's enough to fill a small stadium in Stockton. But he's got his hands filled. You remember Cortina?
Yeah.
130-pound champion. Italian last name, British. The guy hits like a mule. Very heavy puncher. Former world champion Cordina. Gabe Flores is in tough in the co-main event. Very, very difficult.
I agree.
I don't want to jinx the kid, man. I pray for him that he comes out victorious, but I'm gonna keep it 100 with you guys. Cordina is a very heavy puncher. The one time Flores fought I think he's a heavy puncher. I was disagreeing with Lukey on it, but he fought Elvinato Lopez, who would eventually become the featherweight champion. Elvinato Lopez from Baja California He battered Gabe Flores, and I think that Cordina is an even stronger and harder punching fighter. This is not going to be easy. I don't know if Sky Nicholson is dating Eddie Hearn. I don't know. Is she? Anybody know? I don't know, but she's on the card. She has one loss. She's been looking great. She's on the card, bringing her Australia thing. She's going to be there. But the one guy you need to watch out for is Tito Mercado from Southern California, Drew. Mercado versus Moran. Mercado has been going at it back and forth on social media with Las Vegas's very own Emiliano Vargas. Now, he's a heavy hitting 140 pound. I think he's Puerto Rican kid from Southern California. He's going at it with like I said, Emiliano Vargas, a top ranked contender. I mean, we pretty soon we start calling him a contender. Anyways, those two kids, man, they could be a future mega fight potentially. Keep your eye on Mercado. I'm looking for him to knock out. I'll just ask you, Drew, can you give me your predictions on these 4 fights? These are the main event guys. Pacheco, does he win?
Yeah.
Flores?
No, I'm going Cordina.
Sky Nicholson?
Yeah.
And finally, Mercado.
Mercado.
Fonzie says, Pacheco is a cool guy. I met him in Vegas and talked to him for a minute. I'm sure he is cool. The only issue with Pacheco that I heard was that, somebody in his camp had confronted a boxing media reporter, so-called boxing media reporter. I met that reporter, and he was very forgiving. He said, you know what? I don't want to make a big deal out of it anymore. The thing is, if you're on YouTube and you say something a fighter may not like, you may be confronted. Now, you shouldn't be confronted about it if you're keeping it 100 as a journalist. Remember, it's journalism and there's opinion. If all you're doing on YouTube as a boxing content creator is opinion, you might get stepped to. Unfortunately.
That's how it goes sometimes, I guess.
That's how it goes. Yeah, I appreciate it. Thank you, Marilyn Rentis, for your comments in the chat today. They were really good. I am very much excited, guys. I think this week, Lopez versus Shakur, it's official for Madison Square Garden, January 31. And the press conferences will begin. That is going to be a really big fight in January, but it's going to be sweet science, guys. 2 boxers, 2 counterpunchers. We'll talk a lot about that. So stay tuned every Monday nights, guys. I should be back 100% Monday. We might even be back on the air tomorrow. Drew, I'll let you go, Drew. I know it's late on the East Coast, so I appreciate you tonight. Dave in the 702, Miss Bitch Holy Queen's in here. Appreciate you coming in here. Drew, any final thoughts?
Oh, man. Nah, not really.
All right, man. We'll catch you guys on the next one. Don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button if you haven't already so, and leave us a comment. It helps the engagement. Until the next one, peace.